Hello, welcome to Marghi lesson class. I'm by name Dunama Umar Fiodomilo. I'm your guide. Today we are going to be talking about the ancient Marghi time system. I repeat, the ancient Marghi time system. Now, I want us to note that the Margis, like any other uh, tribe of the world, they have the way they measure their time system. Now, the ancient Margis, our forefathers were not ordinary people. I want you to note that. And I want you to note that they were unconsciously scientists, most of them. Yes, because they use scientific knowledge to share those time. Now, I want you to know that these are people that the science need in this generation in order to move the world forward. Thank you. Now, the Marghi time system is based on the dual time system. Now, the Marghi share the day into two equal parts. Now, unconsciously, which rhyme with that of the English language system. Now, the first equal part, which is the first 12 hours, which is referred to the first 12 hours, rules the day, while the second 12 hours rule the night. Now, the Margis go further down into reshare the first 12 hours that rules the day into two equal parts. Now, these two equal parts, which is 6 hours each. Now, in these 6 hours each, the middle of these 6 hours now is referred to as Kater Ichi, meaning the middle of the day. Now, when you move further again, the second 12 hours that rules the night, the Margis, they were ancient parents, they reshare it into another two equal parts. Now, the middle of it also is referred to as Kater VE. Kater VE. You see, meaning the middle of the night. Now, let us go further. Now, the days, the 12 hours of the day. Let's look at how the Margis they share. Now, the early morning, the Margis, they have the way they describe this time, and they have the way to identify the particular hour. Now, let's listen and pay attention carefully. Now, when it is early morning, the 6 a.m. in the morning, the Marghi they refer to it as a kula. Now, it is determined based on the cockcrow. The cockroach determine the hours. Now, the next 3 hours added to the first 6 hour. Now, to have the second period now, which is 9 a.m. Now, the Margis, they use their hand above the horizon. They use their hand to demonstrate it above the horizon. Now, when the sun is above the horizon, they demonstrate it based on the positioning of the sun. Now, the positioning of the sun, or they can also use their shadow to describe at this particular point in time is 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. Now you see, they use their shadow, they look at their shadow, or they look at the sun above the horizon. Now, when you add the next 3 hours to the night, the third to the second hour, which is the 9 a.m. Now you have 12 p.m. Now this 12 p.m. the Margis, they refer to it as a Kater Ichi. Now, how do they demonstrate it? They demonstrate it based on they also use their hand above their head. They try to describe it. They say, okay, if this sun is above this, like this, above our head or my head, now it's referred to as 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Now, or they also go down to look at their shadow. Immediately the shadow is under them, they note that this is 12 o'clock. You see, now 12 p.m. Now, the next 3 hours, which is the fourth hours of the day. Now, the fourth hour, which will lead us to 3 p.m. Now, the Margis, they use their hand to demonstrate again. They use their hand to demonstrate, and they will say, okay, by this time, This is the positioning of the sun above the horizon. Then it's referred to as 3 p.m. You see, or they also look at their shadow again. They base their time based on shadow and the movement of the sun, the pattern of the sun, where it's placed at a particular point in time on the horizon. You see, now at this point in time, they may also use the cock crow at that point in time to refer to 3 p.m. Now, the fifth hours now that will lead us into 6 p.m. Now, when the sun is about going down, they also use their hand again to demonstrate further. To say, okay, by this time, the sun is going down, then we are having 6 p.m. You see, this is how the Margis, they describe the first 12 hours of the day. Then the sixth hour that will lead us into 9 p.m. Now, they use cock crow now. At this point, there's no sun. At times they use the moon, but I cannot describe that further until further class, in our next class, please. Sorry, pardon me for that. Now, they also use cock crow. When the cock crow, the first cock crow is trying to identify, is identifying the 9 o'clock at that point in time. That is the sixth hour, the sixth hours now, which is 9 p.m. Now, when you add the next 3 hours, it will lead us to the seventh hours of the day. The seventh hours now will now lead us to 12 a.m. in the morning. Now, at that point in time, the Margis, when they had the cock crow, they will say at this point, this is Kasher V, meaning the middle of the night. You see, they have described that particular point, which is the middle of the night. Now they refer to it as Kasher V. Now, the next 3 hours added to the seventh hour will lead us to the eighth hour, which is 3 a.m. Now, the 3 a.m., now they also use the cock crow to identify that at this point in time, this is 3 a.m. In case they want to prepare to go elsewhere, whether visitation, they want to go and pay condolence visit, they want to go for fishing, then they begin to prepare at this point in time. They prepare whatever they need. They start the cooking. All the cooking process will take place until when they begin to discover that the horizon is becoming brighter and brighter. Now they'll now say, Mramam, Ivya. Now, meaning, let's move. Now the day has already break. Now they'll begin to refer to that period in complementary with the cock crow. Now it's now going to be described as the early morning. Now this complete the entire cycle of the day in the Marghi system. Thank you. I'm going to translate this into my native language, the Marghi Udzurungu. In case I did not describe it the way you want, please, I'm sorry. Pardon me, I'm from the Udzurungu enclave. Please. But you may or you may not generalize it. Yes, I don't have further knowledge about other Margis across the globe. Please. But as I said earlier, you may or you may not generalize it. Thank you. Abjaramananguki agabamta barpidar murcha, limpaduna maumaru fio milu, nimdu ladan wa numra kwashilo no kulakulaku. Kandir mnashe jana marula gudu ijen mazizgu gan tekea latranda na pekar bichi. Agapidar vi. Vitituku, dinjana bra vitituku. Nanda gan tekeba ijen mazizgu nandam jintsintil. Nandandu science ayua banku udunia. Nanda gan tekea pekirpichi aga pidar vi. Ceca gananda ganai anu pekirpichi saka kumuga pomaslu. Nanda ganai anu pidar vi saka kumuga pomaslu. Nanda ga brasen tekia pekirpichi na umbwa maslu. Saka unkwa nanda ganai anu pekirpichi. Utupari mukasari nanda ganai de kasirpichi. Ulargo kasirpichi. Anu vita gandaga brantekia umbwa maslu. Utupari gandaga ngai de kasir vi ulargo gazana bre ijir merzusu na nam jilangmai nandam jin tsintil awara sun dimara ivuranga ulargo la gonda gantekia vitatuku aliri kalkal aga ano me nasara la gonda gantekia andar dadari abangdo ijir merzusu gantekia. So ayu niyayi ka gazana bre ai disinan damai amawa nanda mulya se talala azanda abatalala sundanda ina la gonda gabran tikaba pikir bici du kula kula sakan kwa kula kula ma ivia kudere ma vug ma wu kula kula nanda zana beriya via kudere magam chak saka makar magam chak awa makar arkra nkwana achalga saka mdlu no kula kula nanda rahu tsenda adagiju ndan charan even de bichedi adagiju mandan char even de bichedi dinda baku magula biche baku saka mlanari ma biche dukur ma biche tukur tai to nandana bria saka kumuga pomtanari mandakra ishdo berbici nanara ishdo shangudi mandagular shangudirinda nandana bria ma shangudi gi lauku kuje saka dogo dije vrincha ma jai ayu ivika baku kuje saka dogo dije vrincha maga bram chaku awa makar anu kumuga po mishina ano bichina achalga saka makar ano hagdam largo ma uvug mahu nandaza na bra saka makar nari manakra isha do vugum ulatarin anara isha do tsienda ma bicha bako saka makra iri ulargo abaka de jirma zuzugo a idari mando lari de shangudi ga nchaba azanda bria saka makra iri ma manjabram chaku awa makr alu anu saka makr no hagana aluga teder bichidam nandarana bria yo haganari wani margi haganari abri kije bicha alga tededam ma bicha alga tedu nandaran charang ditsi kije bicha alga tededam ma bicha alga tedeko ancha babariya haganari largu ma sakan kwa kuda iri magam chakri awa makr arkran kwana aralga saka mdlo nervi ma uvugum awu tang azanda bria saka mdla banku kije bicha tu dinda gla kirdermai azan ya bre ijir mrzuzgu nanda gala gudinda ilta do hia amawa ya ina kamar ya hada sinsar kirkwata gamai alirwa manera paya sarkir ne ranchar murcha usiyamu iya ina kamar ma jalga uvuguma wu tang azanda saka makr ma uvuguma bra wuri ina mshu azanda bra kathir vianari ularai ma wu ina makr azanda abri saka makr ivya liga kudu ulargo ma uvuguma wu jamdam ivya kudari azanda bria ivya kudari kiki jangi jamar vititku anar margi zizgu jandiya yu kumra zan chamar kumra use ijermar zizgi erku ngarga ina suku erku animar usemu sai demra brakbu alirwa demra ranga lagondo margian tikba vi mudfu aku sati patlu ngado mji nasara angado week 1 week agam jir hausa ngado sati patlu kakam jirma akuda arandaga abra sati patlu alirwa namra rawla lagunde mra patlia sati dere akula guskusku usiamu sedemra kabalirwa bye